Action.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
And then the bastardizer came to, and he was strapped into what seemed to be the same swivelly chair that he had fucked off in all those years ago. X-rays, pulse normal, breathing steady, electrolytic cream. She started smearing greasy jelly crap on random bits of me. It was good. It looks fine. More probe. Pulse 85 increasing. Relax. Creamness. Right. Switch on the cerebral pulsator. Get with the electrodes. She's introducing the electrodes now into the frontal area. This is the critical part. Hold! Steady at 89. Good! Electrodes in position. I'll take over now. She's about to apply the current. One mistake now and... Oh, fuck, not again! The bastardizer inadvertently spewed all down his shirt front. It was the first time in the whole book that he had been glad that he hadn't had that bacon sandwich that I mentioned earlier. That will go nicely with the stains on your strides, went the stripper. She was leaning over him with a clipboard. Her eyes were glassy behind her glasses and quite good, clearly scooping potential. You try reading it. Went the time-sick bastardizer, noticing the wetness in his keks, where he pissed himself without realising it. Oh, fucking hell, is that it? A machine that makes you piss itself. What's wrong with beer? Went the bastardizer. You don't get Charles Dickens with beer. She went. You know you're not fucking local, went the bastardizer. He thought she'd fed chicken in a basket. That was another weird side effect of the time machine. You returned to our time zone a couple of moments before you left. That's why you heard the pre-launch check twice. The pre-launch check twice? Where's my fucking chicken? The Chron-O-Funnel is a uniplex device. You can only go backwards in time. I see. That doesn't explain where my chicken isn't, though. Surely the temporal paradoxes that would be produced would be more catastrophic going backwards than forwards, since we wouldn't know what the consequences were. No paradoxes are possible, went the stripper, since you're intangible to the customers in the past time frames. Yeah, you say that, but what if I acted on the foreknowledge I have derived and thereby I changed the future? Wouldn't punters using the machine subsequent to my trip see divergences between their history and the one that they went back to? The stripper chuckled heartily. People don't act on knowledge derived from excursions into the past. It's a phenomenon that's never been known. Actually, people don't act on knowledge that they've obtained at all. Ever. Actually, she said full stop at that point, but I wasn't sure how to write it down. Went the bastardizer. Sorry, my finger slipped. That's a shame. There's a small part of me that would like to know what the future is like. Maybe it's other people that feel the same way. It's called curiosity. The stripper flicked a switch on the console, and the straps binding his ankles and wrists made a scroinging noise, but it didn't open. She had come over and prized them apart with a screwdriver. At one point, the tool slipped and it gouged him in the wrist. Shit! Went the bastardizer. That hurt. The stripper helped him out of the chair and supported his groggy frame as they lumbered interminably slowly back into the main room. Well, okay. picked it up. Thank you for the illustration, Mr. Zunker Ricketson. Very talented guy. We'll be back with you. One moment, keep it rolling, man. Hang on. It's just about to get good. Okay. This is a CGI simulation of life in the year 2020. She went, impersonating the Bastardizer for some bizarre reason that we don't go into in the book. 33 years from now. The stripper went over and fiddled with the VCR. The Bastardizer was reassured to see a technology that he was familiar with, despite his disgust at a few non-copyright infringing applications of the household device. A picture came onto the screen. It showed a clinical white room which looked a lot like the lab next door. There were a dozen fat blokes sat along one wall, naked except for big nappies with hoses coming out of them connected to a sewer. They all had big rolls of blubber, really fat, and if you look close you can see clear tubes plugged in subcutaneously. Coloured fluids pulsed up and down them. The Bastardizer found himself thinking about walruses. The blokes all looked comatose. Occasionally, one of them would fart or belch or sneeze with comic exaggeration. All of them were wearing these massive 1960s style virtual reality goggles. It wasn't very interesting. Then I suddenly noticed one of the blokes was fiddling with his nappy. There was a huge bulge in his groinic area. He freed his pricks, which I couldn't accurately get to scale. It was semi-hard, and suddenly a huge gout of greenish jism spurted into the air. It was an impressive volume, but to tell the truth, it was a bit repulsive. "Whoa, what's with the goggles? Is this spunk radioactive?" went the Bastardizer. "The holographic projection glasses. They're getting the latest and best in immersive hardcore pornography." "A bloody bunch of specs maniacs, if you ask me. Is this customary? How long do they spend like that?" "All the time. Pretty much everyone. That's it. That's what people do in the future. All of it." "Why are there only blokes? What about the ladies?" "They need different equipment, so there's a separate lab or bedroom. We prefer the traditional terminology." "How do you keep up with demand? I assume they're not watching footage of themselves spitting or spouting. No one could get off on that." "The cyber filth is generated by a global network of computers, all interconnected, like it would have to be for it to be a network. They've been programmed to generate infinite Chron using techniques derived from chaos physics. They have all the characters and potential positions you might see in a pornographic film, and they're coding them in a fractal style. Don't the punters get fed up with it?" "All kinds of media are available. They can switch from immersive visual or normal 2D films, or sex audio, literary erotica. No one ever gets fed up with it, ever, ever." Lots of hardcore porn films include a reference to a magazine or book as an acknowledgement of the intrinsic power of the word dimension, or the W-axis as we like to call it. And also, they use music as an expansion of the sound axis, the dimension that we call the S-axis, through grunts, shouts and squelching noises, usually more important from a stimulatory viewpoint than the visuals might be. These synchronize the S and W axes, as specifically as the I axis, it fixes with the images. This is why undubbed and unsubtitled foreign language pornographic films are just as effective as the equivalents from a physiological perspective. Some species, most notably frogs, have a language entirely devoted to sex. This used to be regarded as a primitive stage, but now we see it as the ultimate stage of the evolution of a language. The origins of computer-generated pornography can be traced back to a research program funded by this very organisation in about 4 years' time. Well, I don't know if it looks so bad then. Just imagine, with all the content being endlessly permuted, we can't possibly copyright all of the output. Only the programs themselves, the source material, jillions of output, no royalties at all, the combinatorial porno industry, weeping into his beer, it breaks my heart. Think of the royalties. Well, that's me convinced. So if this is the future, can it be stopped? No, we don't think it can. We just decided you should go back in time and kill the gun who thought it all up, just on the off chance that it can. Whoa, back up there. What do you mean? We have to go back, decide walking back in time and kill the gun who thought it up, and on the off chance it works. What? Who? Me? Kill what? Cunt? Who? When? That? Let me put it on the table, she continued. That's better. I have been sent back from the future, where I was involved with the project that gave rise to the first and greatest work of computer-generated pornography, albeit obliquely. Albeit obliquely. She said it twice because she liked the sound of it so much. I have to persuade you to perform a special mission, an assassination, if you like, or arse-arse-ination, as they say in the United Kingdom. Since this future is sort of our fault and we have the time machines now, why did you choose me? Because you're the Bastardizer! She went! She was right about that. Okay, if you're from the future, how come you're not all intangible, like I was? And if you're right to fuck off now with all those temporal paradoxes, give me a gun on one of those goggles. Fucking what? She went. Alright, fucking don't hold your breath, you fucking cunt. That's the end of the next bit. It goes psychedelic now.